But let's talk a little bit about this affidavit, which everyone wants to see. Thursday, the redactions are due. Judge Reinhart put out that formal order yesterday, and he did actually admit that the version may result in a meaningless disclosure. So that's really not what anyone is hoping for, is just to see a document that's unsealed but totally blacked out. But I also, even further than this, how concerned are you that this judge also recused himself 2 months ago from a civil suit? I mean, why is he also in the middle of all of this now?
He's an activist Democrat. He's a donor to Democrats like Hillary Clinton. He has recused himself in the past because he thinks they're, either are bad optics or maybe he can't be independent. But when it comes to Trump, remember, all the rules get thrown out of the window. All the normal ethics rules get thrown out of the window. What the judge said is he felt like even though the fact that he's a partisan, he could overlook that because it was such a clear case that DOJ had the right to retrieve these materials. Now, all of a sudden, he's saying, well, wait a minute, we ought to, look at basically the directive they gave the judge to be able to go out and ransack Mar-a-Lago. And so what I find is very interesting, just everybody should understand, it's the Biden administration. By the way, the White House knew and I think cleared this raid, and I think that will become more clear over the days and weeks. But the Biden administration is trying to prevent you from seeing the reasons that DOJ felt the need to raid Mar-a-Lago. By the way, when Barack Obama took classified materials, they never raided any of his many $10 million homes with big carbon footprints. When Hillary Clinton stole $200,000 of art and furniture from the White House, there was no FBI raid to get the furniture and the artwork back. They simply got those materials back in Obama's case, got all that furniture back in Hillary Clinton's case. But once again, when it comes to Donald Trump, all those protocols are thrown out the window, and they have to create the ultimate kind of drama around the fact that somehow Donald Trump did something wrong in holding on to materials that prove the FBI's culpability in their use, their weaponization of their power to try to stop Trump.
And the thing too, Matt, is I think Americans have woken up to this, and there is backfire here. I mean, let's listen to what Eric Trump told Newsmax last night about what he thinks the raid has done for the Republican Party.
They misfired. That's what they did, Rob. They totally misfired, and they galvanized the entire country by doing it. Everybody knows this is a sham. I can tell you right now, you've never had a Republican Party that's more fired up than they are right now. Everybody I know, wants him to run again. They've really pissed off everybody, Rob. People know exactly what this is, and that's a weaponization of the legal system for, political means.
There you have it. There was that little alluding there in the motion yesterday, Matt, of when or if he announces. What did you take from that? Obviously, he is the front runner in the MAGA movement. Yes. People are so excited to get that announcement and have it be official.
Well, I love these Republicans like Liz Cheney and the Never Trumpers and Adam Schiff and these folks. It seems like they're trying to stop Trump, but they so ham-handedly do everything to just, bolster Trump up. And so he's not just the front runner. Now he's like the ultra mega MAGA front runner. But let me just say this. Trump came to CPAC in Dallas, and he gave a very poignant part of his speech was what his kids have had to go through with all these legal challenges. You've never seen anything like what the Trump administration, what the Trump family has had to go through with these dilatory tactics, illegal tactics from the FBI, from DOJ. And I think he's very tender about these kids. And, while all this is going on, you have the New York district attorney general trying to bring down Trump from the Trump business organization standpoint and trying to squeeze their former CFO. I find all of this together to be the reason why we believe in criminal justice reform at CPAC, because it's like what the left does to use their power to try to destroy anybody who's their political opponent. Obama did it with the Tea Party. Obama did it with James Rosen and other reporters. Biden's just doing the same stuff that Biden and other Democrats have done before them. It's time for the American people to say this must end here.
Yeah, and November can't come soon enough. And when you talk about the Trump kids, and then we also have Hunter Biden there boarding Air Force One on vacation, and the president's still on vacation. It is such a clear distinction on two-tiered justice. And
it's Matt, a joke, but it's just not funny.
Yeah, exactly. Matt, always great to have you in. Matt Schlapp, the chairman of the American Conservative Union and author of The Desecrators. Good to see you. Hope to see you back here soon.
Great to be with you.